We want to take you now live to Prescott Valley, Arizona, where former President Donald Trump is holding a rally in another battleground state. Let's listen in. Early voting by mail and in person opened in Arizona earlier this week, so if you have a ballot, return it immediately, and if not, go vote. Get your you know what happened vote the minute the polls open tomorrow. You'll be there and get everyone you know, because we want to take back our country. We're going to take back our country, and with your help, 23 days from now, can you believe it, we're going to win Arizona, and we are going to defeat Kamala. Kamala shouldn't be running. She shouldn't even be running. She didn't get any votes. Say what you want about Biden. I'm not a fan of Biden. I'm no fan. Nobody's a fan of Biden. But you know what? He had 14. He got 14 million votes. He got none. I'm the only one. Has to beat two people, not one. You know, everyone else historically in history, you've got beat one. I got to beat two. They never make it easy for us, but she's going to be easy. I have a feeling that he would have been tougher than her, but we're going to usher in a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color and greed. What Kamala and two radical left cronies have done to the state of Arizona is a crime that can never be forgiven. What they've done to us and what they've done to us on the border can never be forgiven. For 4 straight years she's imported an army of illegal alien gang members and migrant criminals from the dungeons all over the world, not South America, all over the world. They come from prisons and jails, insane asylums, mentally institutions, from Venezuela, from the Congo, all over, and she's resettled them into your communities to prey upon innocent American people. If Kamala gets 4 more years, the entire country will be turned into a migrant camp, and that's what's happening. Millions and millions of people. When I win on November 5th, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. One of the deadliest and most vicious migrant gangs that Kamala has imported into our country is the savage Venezuelan prison gang known as Tren de Aragua. Applause. It's a vicious gang. Oh, we have them all. We have them all. They're all represented now. MS-13 vicious. They're all vicious. We'll have a contest. Who's the most vicious? We'll figure it out, because they're all in our country now. People we never had in our country like this. Remember when she went around saying, no, the migrants that come in are very nice people. No, they're not nice people. No, we're not getting the nice ones. We're getting people that levels of crime and violence and viciousness like you've never seen before. They make our criminals look like nice people. They look like nice people. These people know it better than anybody. Border Patrol, they're the greatest people, the best people, and they want to do their job. They don't want to be held back. They want to do their job. They'll do it. They'll end it immediately. All we have to say is do it right, do it, call, do it. You know, I listened to her saying all the time we couldn't get a bill passed. I never had a bill. You know what I did? I called them up. I said close the border. There was no bill. Did I have a bill? I never had a bill. Right, I said close the border, and the border was closed. And then we had the best numbers in the history of our country at the border, and that included, by the way, drugs, and it included traffic hires. Women mostly, they deal in women. Let me see the chart, my all-time favorite chart, by the way. See if you can drop it down. I didn't tell them I was. See, that location would not have worked. You understand that I would have turned too far when it was over. There was perfect. But you see the arrow in the bottom? That's the day I left office. That was the lowest number we ever had in the recorded history of our country. So yeah. You'll sit down. See, I got him to sit down, right? I could see this handsome guy, he's going crazy. Well, they're front row Joes. You know, we got to be careful with those front row Joes, but no, that's the best number that we've had. And look what happened afterwards. It was like an explosion, like a rocket, like Elon's rocket. Did you see the way that sucker landed? I looked at it, I said, oh, that's too bad. It's coming down so fast. I said, oh, cause he's our friend. We want him. We want our friends to be successful, and he's really been our friend, right? So Elon's rocket's coming down, and I saw where the engines came down. That was the first. A couple of years ago I saw engines come down. I said that was great. I said, why do you do that? He said, engines are very expensive. We can save them with certain formulas. He's given me these formulas. I'm say, forget it, you don't have to be that specific. And now the whole thing landed. I never saw anything like it, and it's been through a lot. You know, you look at it, it was a beautiful white shiny thing. Now it's burned to a crisp. But they landed. It needs only a new paint job. That's a lot cheaper than building a new one, right? But that was coming down. I looked at it this morning. I said, look at that. Oh no, that's terrible, because it was coming down so fast, and all of a sudden boom, and it's like got this much on his side. We're going to have to get Elon to explain that, but another time. First we have to get elected, right? Okay, but he's on our side, he's on our side. You know where he is today, he's in Pennsylvania campaigning for us, not me, for us, can you believe? And he's a great guy, he endorses us. I was a great endorsement we had. Bobby Kennedy, we have so many great endorsements. Tulsi, great. Tulsi Gabbard, we have so many endorsements, we have endorsements. I could stand here with them all night long. You know we had endorsements, the 300 biggest people plus biggest people in the administration, national security people. Robert O'Brien is the one that I think really led the charge. Robert's around here someplace, but he had 300 plus the biggest people in government, even from other administrations. They said Trump's the greatest president, Trump's the greatest for security, which is true, and I said this is a big story, wow, this is a great story, I love it, and they put it out and the fake news didn't pick it up. They don't. If that, applause. Where if we have one SLE bag against because I fired him, you know the only ones they always go whenever you fire somebody, they always go against you, but one SLE back because I fired him, they make it front page news. When I get 319 of the top people in the country, in the world, some of these people, some names in there you wouldn't even believe. I mean, I don't want to get personal, but there was some names in there you would be surprised that, frankly, cause I had my little spats, but I appreciate it. No, it showed that there's a certain love of a country when they do that. I really mean it. And Robert the First, want to thank you, and Rick Grenell and all the people, cause that was beautiful. But when I saw that list of the best names, the biggest names in national security and security generally and law enforcement, I said this is a big story. Well, that's great. And I looked up the next day, I looked at the newspaper, didn't make page 1, this 2, 3, 4, it never made the newspaper, but that's the way they treat us, and we're leading in the polls. How come you're leading in the polls and you can't? How the hell does that work? How does that work? But you know why? Because the people are very smart. I found out that people are very smart, but you've been reading this because this has been a big one in Aurora, Colorado. You have a very weak governor, he's totally beside himself, he's a radical left Democrat. He used to come into the White House, he was so nice, sir, yes sir, you're doing a great job as president, sir, and now he says only bad. You know that's the way it goes. It's a tough business, it's a nasty business. But in Aurora, Colorado and communities in all 50 states, is Venezuelan gang is terrorizing law-abiding citizens, including taking over the multiple apartment complexes. And let's take a little look at them. They're not, applause, music. Nice. You see, video shows a group of men walking up a stairwell at the edge of the Lowry apartment complex in Aurora. All of them appear to be carrying rifles and handguns, and the video shot earlier this month, one of the men can be seen talking on his cell phone. They all then gather around a door and go, applause. In another video shows men all right as they begin to play a video there at the Trump rally in Prescott Valley, Arizona. We're going to bring in ABC's Alex Pett and have a discussion about what we just saw. About the same amount of time that we heard our Vice President Harris talk. And you, Alex, you can hear what issues these candidates really believe are most important for them to win this election. And clearly our former President Trump believes that immigration, he keeps it hammering our Vice President Harrison. Immigration, one quote from the beginning, he says they come from prisons and jails, ANA asylums, mental institutions from Venezuela, from the Congo, all over, and she resettles them into your communities to prey upon innocent American people. So what are your thoughts so far? Well, I mean, you said that they're coming from dungeons all over the world, and if she's elected, the entire country will turn into a migrant camp. And look, I mean, this is kind of part for the course for the Trump campaign. I mean, this is red meat to a lot of his supporters, those folks that are going to wait in line to actually see him speak in a battleground state like Arizona. But he's noting this because it resonates. And one of the things that I point out, Phil, is that I mean, you know, the admin or his campaign has actually rolled out policy today, specific immigration policy today, but yet we've heard yet to hear other former president detail that. And I'll run this through, but a senior Trump advisor talked about how, you know, if elected president, he will plan to hire 10,000 new Border Patrol agents. He's going to ask Congress for a 10% raise for the Border Patrol agents, and as well as a $10,000 retention and signing bonus. And you know, again, we're a number of minutes now into this speech, and we're hearing much of the same rhetoric that we've heard from Trump rallies all over. I mean, he was just about to double down, sounded like when they were playing that video, he was doubling down on some of those false claims made out of Aurora, Colorado. But clearly that's something that he personally has identified that works with these supporters, and so I mean that's why he's going there. All right, to be continued at least for 23 days, probably beyond. Alex, thank you so much. From the White House, Alex Pett.